So, Ekiti 2026 Guber elections has come and gone. And APC is jubilating. I won't even call it celebrating. They are celebrating or jubilating what they are calling a landslide victory. Landslide. Okay. If I were Tinubu and APC, I would not celebrate just yet. Because the Ekiti elections actually reveal three dangerous things for APC and Tinubu in the 2027 elections. Three. I call them weaknesses. And you can call them whatever when you hear about these three dangerous things. And why it is that even though Yubanji should not celebrate yet, well, he can celebrate actually. He has won what he perceives to be a landslide. But in the overall context of 2027 election, are there dangers for APC and for Tinubu? We'll look at this in details. But let's not forget, it's not just the APC that participated in the Ekiti elections, the Ekiti Guber elections, governorship elections. ADC participated. In fact, at this point, it is important to clarify that Peter Obi and NDC did not participate. With the momentum that NDC has gained in such a short time, I believe very, very strongly that the impact of NDC would have changed the overall dynamics of the Ekiti election if Peter Obi and NDC had participated. Yes, they would have, but they didn't. And I know at this point some will argue and say, oh, what was the impact of Labour Party in Anambra election? There were infightings within the Labour Party, so there was no time for the Peter Obi effect to actually take root. But for Ekiti, if NDC had participated, considering the momentum of the OK movement at the moment, definitely the overall dynamics of the Ekiti election would have been different. Don't you think? But let's come back to ADC. And the reason for that is simple. What does the outcome of the Ekiti election, what does it say about the chances of Atiku in the 2027 election? What does it say? Right now we hear that Atiku is out of the country. We hear that he's gone back to Dubai. However true that is, well, it's left for the public to verify. But if it is true that indeed he has gone to Dubai again, perhaps the question is, why is he out to Dubai again? Is it to consult his marabout, or is it to consider his chances in the 2027 election? If it is, then definitely the outcome of the ADC or the outcome of the 2026 Ekiti Guber election for the ADC should matter to him. We'll look at that also in details. But we cannot also forget Sowore. Sowore was arrested in the premises of the Federal High Court. And it was because his bail was revoked. The conditions for the revocation of that bail are things that many people think was self-inflicted. Now, many activists blame the DSS. They call it a script that is being acted out. Maybe, maybe not. But then again, it takes two to tango. While it may be that the DSS officials may have overreached in the way and manner they behaved, is it also possible that Sowore has also overreached? We'll look into this. But more importantly, what does the outcome of the Ekiti election, what does it hold for the chances of Sowore in the 2027 election. All this gra he's engaged in, is it going to amount to anything good? The Ekiti 2026 governorship election actually says a lot of things about what Nigerians should expect in the 2027 election. It says a lot. Definitely, if he's saying something about Sowore or saying something about Atiku or saying something about APC or Tinubu, definitely it will say something about Peter Obi. Are there any green lights, any good signs? Let us figure this out as we analyze the effect of the Ekiti elections. Very, very critical. Let's start off like this. If you have not signed up for VoteWatch, the only comprehensive solution right now to prevent rigging in 2027, if you have not signed up, I don't know what you're doing. The link is in the description. In fact, right now I will say stop this video, click the link, sign up. Sign up and then come and continue to watch this video. Because if VoteWatch had been used in the Ekiti election, the outcome certainly would have been different. The question they're asking is, oh, how would it have been different? Okay, I'll explain. We have three videos that are trending now concerning the Ekiti governorship election. 3. The first one was the video that Isaac Fayose posted, where somebody was seen distributing what looked like PVC. Whether that video is a current video, it has not been independently verified. Whether it is actually PVC that are being distributed, we don't know. But the video is trending, and the preponderance of opinion is that that video proves how APC has, I would say confiscated, has collected PVCs from people or bought PVCs from persons, from voters, and then distributed those PVCs to non-indigens to come and vote. That is the narrative that leaked video by Isaac Fayose, that's the narrative it pushes. And that's one. The second video is the one where this young girl was seen brandishing some Naira notes. And it was saying 15 pa, 15 pa. And that's what she got for selling her vote. That's the second video. Now, whether this girl realizes that she's actually confessing to a crime, because the Electoral Act actually criminalizes both vote buying and vote selling. Whether that young lady realizes that she's actually criminalized herself is another question. But the video is trending about the Ekiti 2026 governorship election. The third one is the one where this young man held his PVC to the camera and was saying that he's not going to collect anything less than 5,000 naira. That in fact, he doesn't want anything on top of the 5,000 naira. They should just give him 5,000 naira. He will sell his vote. Again, whether this young man also realizes that vote selling and vote buying are both crimes according to our electoral law. Whether they realize it or not is another thing. But these 3 videos seem to drive 2 narratives about rigging in the Ekiti governorship election of 2026. 1, that there was massive vote buying. 2, that there was voter disenfranchisement. Really. That genuine voters had their voters card either taken from them or bought from them or refused to be delivered to them. So that's voter disenfranchisement. And in the end, those PVCs were now given to non-indigents. So those are 2 grounds for rigging, or 2 allegations of rigging. 1, vote buying, to vote manipulation or voter disenfranchisement. Now, these two problems would have been solved with two features on VoteWatch. The results entry page on VoteWatch would have solved the question of vote buying, and then the complaints page on VoteWatch would have solved the question of voter disenfranchisement, PVCs, and all that. Now, sometimes I wonder whether politicians, opposition politicians, really want to win elections. I wonder. Why do I wonder it? We presented VoteWatch to all politicians in the Ekiti elections. But how many of them took advantage of VoteWatch? Zero. None. You would expect that, okay, an opposition politician, like those who have come out now to start complaining, would have taken advantage of VoteWatch. But did they? No. In fact, one of the reasons why I feel like somehow opposition politicians don't really engage in election to win, they just engage probably to raise funds to help themselves. They raise funds, like it was alleged that all the monies Obasanjo gave to Obanikoro did not even use it for his own election in Lagos, remember? And it was rumored that Obasanjo was not happy with Obanikoro. So it's possible that some politicians, opposition politicians now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's possible that they just engage in elections to raise funds, use elections to raise funds, and they're not really interested in winning. Because if all of those three key opposition candidates, the SDP, the PDP, the ADC, in the Ekiti Guber elections, were really interested in winning that election, what do you think they would have done? Did you see or did you feel the impact of campaign that they did? I didn't see it. I didn't. And we had a few persons on the ground. So the outcome of the Ekiti Guber elections would have been different if opposition politicians had engaged VoteWatch. And this must be said. We cannot enter into elections without doing what we are supposed to do, only to come out of it and be hiding behind the excuse of rigging. To say, oh, we were rigged, that's why we lost. No. The Ekiti election exposed three things, like I said earlier. And those three things are things that we as Nigerians, we who want free and fair elections, we should take note of. Number one, if truly APC rigged, is it a surprise? Is there anybody who did not know that, oh, what APC is very good at and what they are counting on mostly is to rig? Is there anybody who does not know? Now, if the politicians knew that APC was going to rig, the question is, what measures did they put in place to counter the rigging moves of APC? What? This is where there is hope for Peter Obi and NDC in 2027. Listen. Tinubu is only as strong as the people, the number of persons he can manipulate. Tinubu is not all that powerful. And that is why I don't want us to run with this narrative that, oh, the election was rigged. Yes, it was rigged. How was it rigged? Nobody even knows. People are just pointing to, oh, PVC, they bought BVC, or they bought vote. Let me ask you, how many votes out of the 312,000 votes that Oyebanji got, how many of them were votes that were bought? It can't be more than 50,000. Like even Isaac Fayoshe himself mentioned. It cannot be. So where did the other votes come from? Did anybody notice a glitch in that election? Did anybody? But there was a glitch. And like I predicted before, I said the glitch of 2027 will be carried out in such a way that even we, the opposition, we will not even notice it. And that was exactly what happened. But it was a good thing because it proves that the VoteWatch solution that we have in place is really going to work in 2027. Now, Tinubu is not so powerful, so don't come and tell us, oh, we were rigged. You were just lazy. You were just lazy. Lazy to think, lazy to take advantage of the VoteWatch solution. You were just lazy. I am not going to pat any opposition politician in the head and say, well done. You did not do any well. You did not do well. If you lost, it is your own afowofa. You brought it on yourself. You failed to do simple things that could have guaranteed victory for you by making sure rigging was impossible. Now, Tinubu is only as strong as the number of persons he can manipulate. Imagine that when Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers and removed Fubara. Imagine that the Senate president was not Godswill Akpabio, that the Senate president was actually Saraki. Would Tinubu have been able to remove Fubara as governor? He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. So Tinubu is only as powerful as the number of persons he can manipulate. So if you put structures in place to stop the manipulation of persons by Tinubu, you weaken him. So rather than sit to be complaining about 2027 election, they are going to rig. Look for how you can put measures in place to stop rigging. Chikena. You can only rig in a place where you are popular. In the 2023 elections, and I'm going to give this example to prove the point that vote buying can be solved easily. Vote buying can be cured easily. And vote buying is a sign that a politician did not do his job well. His messaging was wrong. In the 2023 elections, we were here. In Abuja, we voted. In my polling unit, in Gwarimpa ward. Did APC try to rig? Of course they did. Did they try to buy votes? Of course they did. Did they win? The answer is no. With all the canvassing they were doing, they had agents in the polling unit that their job is not the main agent for INEC. No. They had canvassers in the polling unit who were calling people from their homes to come and vote and collect money. But with all their vote buying and all the manipulations that they did, they still lost. What does that tell you? That vote buying will only succeed when a candidate is not popular. And a candidate will not be popular if the messaging of that candidate is wrong or the messaging does not get to the people. In fact, I say it here boldly. Vote buying is a sign that the opposition politicians did not do their work. They did not engage in adequate voter education. They didn't. So if a political party engages in heavy voter education and engages in clear messaging, their programs are clearly described to the people, and the people see, no amount of vote buying will make the people do otherwise. So I will say at this point, rather than blame those people who sold their votes, rather than blame them, yes, they have some blame, but rather than blame them, I would say politicians and political parties should engage in more voter education. More voter education. And then the messaging for the candidate should be clear. The programs should be clearly described to the people. That was what happened in Ekiti. The opposition were weak. There was no voter education. There was no clear messaging. None. So that led to what gave the main rigging that happened the space to happen. The main rigging that happened is the one that happened by the glitch. It's not the vote buying. The one that happened by the glitch. That's the main rigging. And it was only possible because there was voter apathy. Even with the figures that are alleged to be inflated right now in the Ekiti election, even with that inflated figure, 380 something thousand, the turnout is still about 37.1%, which is still low, right? But from what people on the feed can actually say, the turnout was even way lower. So maybe about 25 to 30% voter turnout, which is poor. And how do you, or why do you have voter apathy? You have voter apathy when there is insufficient voter education. Again, we're coming back to the issue of voter education. When the messaging of the candidates or the political party is not clear, or it does not address the key pain points of voters, then voters are not motivated to come out en masse to come and vote. And because there was voter apathy, guess what? The manipulation that is as a result of the glitch that nobody noticed was able to go on. But the good news is this: we saw it, we noticed it, and we are happy that as we predicted it, that's how it happened, and that in 2027, VoteWatch would take care of it. Before I move on to Atiku and Sowore and Peter Obi, let me even say this. From the allegations that Isaac Fayose has made about PVCs of legitimate voters not being given to them or being bought from them and given to illegitimate voters to vote, that allegation, how do you solve it? Simple. The complaints feature on VoteWatch takes care of it. If opposition politicians engage in massive awareness campaigns, voter education, right, clear-cut messaging, and encourages voters to log a complaint, if they have done pre-registration, they have done registration, and they have not been given their PVCs, let them log a complaint, and then you compile a list of such persons. If that list is really significant, substantially significant, you have 1 million voters, 2 million voters across the length and breadth of Nigeria that have registered but have not gotten PVC, you have empirical data to go to INEC and say, continue the CVR or give these people their PVCs. Because you have empirical data. But right now, we're just talking, no data. Oh, many people have not gotten their PVC. Many people, their PVC, they were given to other people. How many are those people? Who are those people? You don't know. Everything is just guesswork. Propaganda. No, it doesn't have to be. With VoteWatch, that could have been easily solved with the complaint feature. Easily. Now, this is why APC should be worried. Because all of these lapses that gave them victory in this 2026 Ekiti governorship election, there are lapses that VoteWatch has solved, and there are lapses that will really determine the outcome of the 2027 elections. We projected earlier that Ekiti will go to Tinubu in 2027. You see the whole of the Southwest, Ekiti, Ondo, and Ogun, APC and Tinubu will win. But you see, in Lagos, and Oyo, and Osun, Peter Obi wins those three. You see the whole of the South, forget Oshomole, forget Oborewori, forget Doyediri, forget, in fact, be careful with Fubara, forget Umoeno, forget all of them. The whole 6 states of the South, Peter Obi wins them. The whole 5 states of the Southeast is on lockdown for Peter Obi. So in the South alone, Peter Obi has 11 plus 3, That's 14 states in the south. If you go to the north central, you can call it a split, not necessarily a split. The FCT is there, Peter Obi wins it. Nasarawa is there, Peter Obi wins it. Benue is there, Peter Obi wins it. Plateau is there, Peter Obi wins it. Kogi will be a kind of battleground. But let's give it to APC. Even though it's very likely that Peter Obi also wins Kogi. You give Kwara to APC. You give Niger to APC. That's 3 for APC, 4 for Peter Obi in the middle belt. That's 18 states already where he wins. And already you would have gotten even the required 25% spread in 2/3 of the states. But if you go to the north, out of the 7 northwestern states, Jigawa, Katsina, Kano, Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara. You see those 3 states, the Kardashians, the KKK, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina. Peter Obi will win those states based off of the pull effect of 2 things. 1, the Kwankwasia movement. And 2, the mere fact that the North are simply tired of Tinubu and the APC. They are tired. They are not happy. So, the rigging machinery will fail. Remember, you can only rig in a place where you are popular. Tinubu is only as strong as the number of persons he can manipulate. And he is running out of persons he can manipulate in the North. He is. So those 3 key states in the North, Peter Obi gets them. Add them to your 18 states from the South and the Middle Belt. North Central. That's already what? 18 plus 3. That's 21. Add another 3 from the Northeast. So we're not even talking about spread of 25%. Peter Obi wins 24 states in the 2027 elections. And we're not going to put the caveat that, if the election is free and fair. Because whether INEC likes it or not, whether Tinubu likes it or not, whether APC likes it or not, whether security agencies like it or not, whether thugs like it or not, whether the judiciary likes it or not, the election of 2027 will be free and fair because of VoteWatch and because of the people of Nigeria. Because of the fact that the power of the people is greater than the people in power. And we now have the technology solutions to back it up. Yeah, so APC should really be worried. The other time, Tinubu came out to say he's not afraid. You can't scare me. When somebody starts talking like that, what do you think? They are already scared. Tinubu is already scared. His only hope is to rig. And with solutions like VoteWatch, he knows he can rig. And it's only VoteWatch that can do it. This must be stressed. Yaga Africa has come out with ERAD 2.0. When I heard about it, first of all, I was excited at first. But when I saw the details of how they were going to run the ERAD, I knew it was a useless solution. Very useless. Needless. So if you are thinking that, in addition to VoteWatch, you have ERAD from Yaga Africa and Channels Television as an alternative solution, you're wasting your time. And the reason is simple. They are basing their answers on what is on IREV. That's a lazy approach. It's a lazy approach. So whatever analysis they are going to be doing, they are going to be making that analysis on whatever errors or manipulation has been uploaded to IREV. Because remember, as we said earlier, buffer server. Did you guys notice it in the Ekiti election? Buffer server. I noticed it. They will tell you it's not there, it's not there. Why? Explain to me why beavers will be used to take a picture of from EC8A by 4 o'clock, and it is only 7 o'clock in the evening that Nigerians are able to see that result on the IRF portal. Why? Why? So we know this, and that is why we are saying whatever we are going to do is going to be people powered. It is going to be independently verifiable, and it's going to be a parallel vote tabulation. What ERAD 2.0 is doing is not parallel vote tabulation. They call it a PVC representative parallel vote. It is not. They are just interpreting what INEC has put there. So if you ask me, IRAD 2.0 from Yaga Africa and Channels Television is just one way of giving legitimacy to whatever manipulation INEC would have put on IREV. So that solution is useless. And we are looking at Patutomi's NDC IREV. And I know they are working very, very hard on it to make sure it is ready. I know they have improved on it from the last time. And I hope it works. But even that one too still has one problem. You're still going to rely on the rank and file of NDC to populate each polling unit with polling unit agents. And from what we have seen in the 2023 election, in the FCT area council election, in the Ekiti elections, agents, particularly polling unit agents of political parties, they can be compromised. They can be compromised. And that is why right now, of the three alternatives, only VoteWatch is the most credible, most comprehensive, and most dependable, most independently verifiable, while still complying with all the relevant laws in Nigeria. So with VoteWatch, we can say affirmatively that the 2027 election will be free and fair. And as a result, 24 states are going to Peter Obi. 24 states. We'll make sure of that. And this is why the Ekiti election is a blessing in disguise. And this is why, even though they won, they should not rejoice, because their rejoicing will be short-lived. Let's go to Atiku Abubakar. ADC participated. And as it is now, it is the David Mark faction that was recognized to present a candidate for that election. Now, ADC claims that the structure of PDP is what they have adopted. You know, they claim that all the strong men in PDP have come into ADC. That ADC is the only coalition right now. They say that. But did you notice that even ADC did not even come second in the Ekiti election? What does that tell Atiku? In fact, Atiku will not win any states in 4 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. He will not. And I'm not talking about only South states or Southern states. 17 Southern states and 19 Northern states. No. I am talking about 17 Southern states plus 6 North Central states. That is what? 23 states. At the FCT, 24. In 24 states, Atiku will not win any states. In the whole of the South, in 2023, with the PDP structure behind him, with the 1.6 trillion that Ifeanyi Okowa was alleged to have looted and borrowed to finance his campaign. With that, he only won 3 in 2023. He won Osun, he won Bayelsa, and he won Akwa Ibom. But now, you know, and it must be said at this time, that it is not only APC that is looking to Rigo. All the allegations of vote buying in the Ekiti election, is it only APC that bought votes? We had allegations also laid or levied against ADC, against PDP, that they also bought votes. It's just that you cannot outbuy an APC or a Tinubu when it comes to an election. And that is one fundamental problem that Atiku has. Now he doesn't have that structure behind him anymore, as evidenced by the Ekiti elections. And he doesn't have the financial muscle. His businesses have crumbled. One thing Buhari did for him, his biggest cash cow, which was Intel's, Buhari made sure that Atiku was booted out. So right now, there is no serious cash cow. The university in Adamawa, all those money they bring. The monies that Atiku is making from those ones, and whatever monies he has stockpiled from his SPVs in the days of Obasanjo, those monies, they don't go down. And even if they never go down, those monies cannot buy, they cannot rig any election if it's to buy votes. And now, Amechi self, not the... Amechi, how many of you know that there are rumors now that Amechi gave Atiku condition to accept his vice presidential nomination. That he, Rotimi Amechi, will be the one to nominate the CBN governor, nominate the custom controller, and 12 parastatal, and that Atiku must sign publicly that he will only do one term. Funny conditions that I know Atiku will never accept. So that is why, after weeks, over a week now, that ADC Bolaji Abdullahi went to just announce that, oh, we have nominated Rotimi Amechi. Rotimi Amechi never come out to accept. You will see them taking pictures, but he has not come out to accept, because the rumors are that he has given some conditions that even an Atiku cannot meet. Now, why does Atiku need Rotimi Amechi in 2023 and 2027? Money. The assumption is that, and Rotimi Amechi didn't hide it. He didn't say he will not steal. Instead, his own is just to steal $1 billion. He said it with his own mouth, because we did not stone them. Right? So it's possible he even stole more than $1 billion. But whatever monies that Rotimi Amechi may or may not have stolen or have stashed somewhere to fund the election, that money cannot buy votes to rig any election substantially. It can't. But that's the last hope of Atiku now for 2027. And even that hope is not sure. So if in 2023, Atiku had an Ifa Yokowa and the allegation or the alleged 1.6 trillion to fund his election, and he only managed to win 3 states in the South, in the whole of the South, and won 0 states. He lost Kwara, he lost Niger, he lost Kogi, he lost Nasarawa, he lost FCT, he lost Benue, he lost Plateau. So where is the hope for Atiku in 2027? Perhaps this is why he has gone to Dubai now, if the rumors are true. Maybe to consult his marabout, or maybe to just think clearly, to clear his head, to come back and say, there's no path forward for me. Let me just support Peter Obi. Yeah. It's not likely, right? But in politics, nothing is impossible. So the chances of Atiku are slim. And that's one thing that the Ekiti governorship election of 2026 actually reveals. What about Sowore? Sowore has contributed a lot to protests and democracy in Nigeria. You can't take that away from him. But is it every time that you need to use gra to attack problems? Is it every time? Is it every time? Will Sowore's gra be enough for him to make an impact in 2027? The results of Ekiti says otherwise. Now, I am not happy the way the DSS rough-handled him right in the court and bundled him out. I am not happy. But can we say that Sowore is also right? It takes 2 to tango. And please, before you insult me unnecessarily, 2 things can be correct at the same time. The DSS can be wrong, and Sowore can also be wrong. Now, we know that Sowore went to court, and the judge did not show up. The judge did not show up. Now, these things happen. In fact, when it happened to me in our case against INEC that was struck out, on 2 of the 13 adjournments, the judge did not show up. And I was asking my lawyer, can we not sue? Can we not petition? Can we not do this? Can we not do that? I was angry. Now, as angry as I was, would that justify me not showing up the next adjourned date? The answer is no. If I want to take any action, take maybe an appeal to the Court of Appeal, or I want to file a petition to the NGC against such a judge, I can do that. But does that negate the fact that a next adjourned date has been set for that hearing? Let's not forget that my own was a civil suit in a criminal case, which is the one that Sowore is involved in. In a criminal case, the accused must always be present. And Sowore knows this. So why was Sowore absent at the next adjourned date? Even though he had written a letter to say, oh, I will not come. Did he hear a response from the judge to say, okay, because of your letter, that next adjourned date will not hold again? Did he hear that? The answer is no. And if he did not get a response from the judge, should he have absconded from the next adjourned date? The answer is no. It is wrong. Now, two things can be wrong at the same time. The way and manner the DSS behaved, you can say, oh, they had a script that they are acting. You can say that. And I blame them for it. They could have been more professional. But we cannot overlook the actions of Sowore. Now, this is also not to discountenance the contribution of Sowore. We are looking for a society where everybody plays by the rule. So if we are holding the DSS to account, we should be able to hold Sowore to account. Now, with all of these gra-gra that Sowore is doing, could it be that he knows the implication of his action and he's engaging in it deliberately so that he can be arrested, and then he will pose himself as a martyr, a hero of democracy, to escape the embarrassment of the abysmal performance of AAC in the Ekiti election? This is just possibility I'm thinking about in my head. But in all of this, the biggest winner is Peter Obi. Number one, because the Ekiti elections, even though the APC won, it revealed the weaknesses of Tinubu and the APC. And it showed the strength of solutions that Peter Obi has in place for 2027. And all I can just say at this time is, when you remember the Ekiti election, as a Nigerian that wants a new Nigeria, know this: there is work to be done, but the solutions are working. The APC is already scared. And we need Nigerians to come out in their numbers to make voter apathy dead and to make rigging impossible. We need to come out massively to support VoteWatch. And there are a few ways to support VoteWatch. You can volunteer as a PU Marshal if you are registered to vote and you have your PVC. And we must stress this: many supporters of Peter Obi currently do not have PVC. We are encouraging you once again, get your PVC. Even supporters of Tinubu, supporters of Sowore, many of them, they don't have PVC. So, as a voter education piece, we are calling on all Nigerians, get your PVC. Get your PVC. All right? Only voters that are registered to vote in polling units will be polling unit marshals for VoteWatch. So you can register and volunteer as a PU marshal. That's one way. Two, you can sponsor awareness campaign. There's a sponsorship tab on the VoteWatch platform. You can donate whatever you can. You can donate face cap, you can donate megaphones, you can donate awareness material, you can donate money for us to do paid ads on social media, right? That's the second way to do it. The third way is you can advise us. You can be part of the technical team implementing VoteWatch. You can be part of that. Or you can just come and just be sharing the word. 4 ways that you can participate or partner with VoteWatch. I will say it again, and I cannot stress it enough. Right now, VoteWatch is the only platform that will make rigging impossible for INEC, for APC, for Tinubu, for security agencies, and for the judiciary. VoteWatch. Not IRAD, not NDC IREF. VoteWatch. So if any Nigerian is serious, it doesn't cost us anything to actually have all these three. I said it before, the more the merrier. It creates redundancy. But as it is now, nothing comes close to VoteWatch. So if any Nigerian is serious about making sure the 2027 election is not riggable, that person should queue behind VoteWatch, in as much as you want to queue behind any of the other two solutions. And the ways are actually very, very simple. 2027 rigging can be stopped. The solutions are there. We just need the people. Will you be one of them? The link is in the description.